This is the first makeup tutorial that I'll be doing for ACNEANDME.com. It's my blog in case you haven't seen the first video or my multiple posts about it. This video is going to be basically just the foundation routine that I use. Quick disclaimer, as I've said a million times before, I'm not a makeup artist. I don't claim to be a makeup artist. I've not had any education or training in makeup or makeup artistry. I just do what works for me. I tend to use products that you can get on like the high street, like from places like Superdrug and Boots and things. I would only use kind of like high-end products if I knew that it was worth the money. Sometimes it has been, sometimes it hasn't. So they're all relatively cheap to buy. They're all pretty easy. My boiler's making a weird noise. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of get into the video just now. Some people will agree with these techniques and think they're good. Some people will not, and there's probably people like makeup artists and people that have really strict makeup routines like me that will freak out at the stuff that I do. But I'm not telling you this is what you should and have to do. This is basically what works for me and how I cover up my scars and my acne. So I'm just going to get ahead and start with the tutorial. Okay, so I've been on Roaccutane for just over a week and my skin has kind of got quite worse. Very contrasty over here. My scars seem to be a little bit better, but my skin is still super dry, still super spotty. Shit happens. My shoulders and things are getting quite bad. But basically what I would normally do is, with or without Roaccutane or dry skin, etc., I would always moisturise. I exfoliated last night. This is a new product that I've started using. It's from a company called Forever, and it's the Aloe Moisturising Lotion with collagen and elastin. It's supposed to be very good for you. A colleague and a friend of mine has given me this product to give a try and see how. So basically at this point I kind of realise in life that I talk far too much when I'm recording a video. So I decided to do a quick video or a quick voiceover and just generally speed up the actual footage, because I think it makes it look as though I can move quickly even though I simply cannot. So what I'm doing here is basically just priming. I will name all the products below and I'm obviously showing you them as I do it. So this is just a quick primer and I prime and moisturise. So again, as I've kind of said before, my technique is kind of weird. What I would normally do after this is take a highlighter, and this is the highlighter that I'm using. It is such a good highlighter. It is absolutely stunning. I just put this all over my face. People kind of think that's weird, or might think it's weird. I think it's weird, but I do it anyway because it gives the most natural kind of looking glow. It makes you look so dewy and so kind of fresh and awoken, and I don't know if that's the word actually, awoken, it is now. And as you can see, it just kind of generally makes you look a lot kind of happier as a person. So after this is where it gets even more weird. I don't put foundation on or do my highlight and contour at this point. I put my pressed powder on, and that is kind of creepy. I get that, but this is what works for me. So just now I have been using a kind of tinted or a coloured powder, and this is just because that gives me extra coverage as opposed to using just a translucent one. And that's kind of the name of the game, or the aim of the game, or basically the result that we're looking for here. So I dust that all over my face and look ridiculous while I do it. Get most of it in my hair, and I just blend a little bit into my neck here, but for the purposes of this video I'm not doing kind of neck blending and things. Trust me, I do this when I leave the house, but just for this video I'm not going to do it. So I put on the powder and that basically just sets in a lot easier, and from here you can go and put on some kind of, you can skip this part and just put your foundation on, but this is crucial to me. So this is my concealer. I always use 2 shades lighter for concealer, and I use this as a highlight. So I go under the eyes in a kind of triangle, rectangle, angle shape, both eyes. Then I do a line down the bridge of my nose and a triangle up on my forehead. No Illuminati jokes. I do my cupid's bow and my chin. and then I leave it like that and go out the house. Just kidding. What I do after this is normally I would use a cream kind of contour, but for the past couple of weeks I've been using this foundation, and normally I would do it about 2 to 3 shades darker, and this one's kind of about 2 shades darker. It's more of a kind of sallow, kind of yellowy kind of tones in this. They're much warmer tones, and I just feel like that's kind of fun, so I do that under my cheekbones, on my temples and on my jawline. Then I just use a big kind of fluffy brush and blend. So you can see already that in itself gives quite a nice kind of coverage. It's still really light, and this is kind of, for me, this is the secret to this kind of routine that I have here, because cakey makeup is just nasty. Nobody wants to see it. Unless you like it, then you maybe want to see it, but I certainly don't, and not on my own face. So it's layering, yes, but it's light layering, so it's not cakey, and that's just life. So once that's blended, what I would do is, this is me comparing my arm to my face, skin colour wise, and basically I would just take a foundation at this point. I am currently using a kind of not a kind of paddle brush, I'm trying to think, like a panel kind of brush, as opposed to a stippling brush, because I'm looking for something that I can use much softer on my skin and much a more kind of lighter touch. So I would do this all over, under the eyes, over the eyes, and the nose, or not directly in the nose. I do not recommend that, that will probably sting. So I just do this all over, and some people would tend to kind of naturally would think, why the hell is she doing this, because she's just painting over what she's just done. Technically you're right, but you're actually wrong, because the way in which you do your highlight and contour, and depending on which product and highlighter you use, it still really stands out. As you can kind of see, there is still that subtle contour. Now what I would normally do after this is just quickly kind of go over any spots, kind of any really prominent redness or scars and things. I tend to have a lot of scars up at my cheeks at the moment. I do not blend concealer with a brush. I do not blend it with a beauty blender. I blend it with my fingers, and I do not rub. This does not look like I am tapping, but I tap my face. That is kind of weird, but it's literally just like this. I don't even know if you can hear this. But yeah, and that basically just blends in so much better to the foundation, and it doesn't smudge it, and that just makes life really exciting for me, and that sounds really sad. Next, what I would do is moisturise my lips, and that would be normally if I was wearing lipstick. I don't go into all that detail in this video. Basically, I'm just doing that because I had a gig last night. This is when I filmed the video last night. So I was just kind of moisturising my lips as much as possible, because I would have been singing, or I had a performance, so I would have been singing. What I did lastly there is I just dusted. I didn't even use any more powder. I just used what I had on the brush, and I just did like my T-zone and under my eyes, and this is basically just to kind of keep the dewiness of the foundation and the whole bunch of products you just used there, but also to kind of rein in things like excess oil, or kind of if your skin looks kind of too supple, it can look kind of weird. So I would do that, and then that would be me done.